guy you teamed up with to win a championship in 2020, Rajon Rondo, announced on a podcast that he hasn't been playing the NBA for a bit, but he said he's not going to come back to play. When you think back to his career, what do you think was the mark that he made? He was a contemporary of yours, a really accomplished NBA player.
Tonight, was there any thought at all that this could have been your last game with the Lakers?
I'm not going to answer that. Appreciate it.
The most shocking move in NBA history just happened in Los Angeles. Mark Walter, the billionaire owner of the Lakers, picked up the phone and made a decision that will be studied for decades. He cut LeBron James. Not traded, not bought out, cut, waived, gone. And the reason? A new superstar is coming to town. One so massive, so transformative, that the Lakers were willing to sacrifice the king himself to make room. Tonight, we reveal who that superstar is and why the entire NBA is in a state of complete shock.
Remainder of the regular season here.
Most important for our ball club right now is health. I can't state it any more clear. I'm not quite sure how many games we've had where we've had a full roster. And we're over the halfway point, and it's not been many games.
You talk about Mark, the new owner, the billionaire, who just bought him for $10 billion, is also partnered with my boy, somebody you know real well, know real well, Earvin Magic Johnson.
Yes, sir.
So does Mark bring Magic back into the front office to allow him to run this?
The tension had been building for months. Mark Walter, the billionaire CEO of Guggenheim Partners, who purchased the Lakers for a record $10 billion, didn't build his empire by making sentimental decisions. He built it by reading spreadsheets, analyzing data, and making cold, calculated moves before the market forced his hand. And the market on LeBron James was crashing. According to multiple reports, the relationship between James and the Lakers front office had been deteriorating for years. An explosive ESPN expose revealed that previous ownership had toyed with the idea of not re-signing James, with their opinion of the superstar declining year by year. They were upset that they felt pressured to draft his son, Bronny James, to appease him. The family drama, the load management, the constant speculation about his future, it was all taking a toll. But the final straw came during a private meeting in Mark Walter's office. According to a source with direct knowledge of the conversation, Walter presented a series of projections that painted a brutal picture. LeBron's $50+ million salary, when mapped against his age, 41, and the team's need for a full-scale rebuild, created what Walter called an unsustainable financial and competitive model. The decision was made. The Kings era in Los Angeles was over. Walter's message was simple. We're not going to let sentimentality cost us the next decade. And with that, he picked up the phone. Subscribe to find out who answered.
We think, right? It's normal. It's normal. But at the end of the day, you gotta go back home to one wife, to one person. So, and you gotta commit to that. So, as a basketball player, there will never be a situation or a moment of time that I won't commit to my teammates.
Did you ever consider going to college?
Good question.
No.
Did you even have any favorite colleges? Or you didn't know anything about U.S. colleges?
None.
So no Duke, no Kentucky, nothing.
No Kentucky? No, but I didn't really know. Coming to U.S. and seeing all these rivalries.
To understand why Mark Walter would waive LeBron James, you have to understand what the Lakers are building. And the foundation is Luka Doncic. League sources confirmed that the Lakers have clearly turned the page, with Luka Doncic now viewed as the team's franchise cornerstone. ESPN's Shams Charania put it bluntly. You can see they've clearly turned the page. Luka Doncic is the team's franchise cornerstone. Luka Doncic is where this team is going, and that's understandable to everyone, especially LeBron James. But Luka alone wasn't enough to justify cutting LeBron. The Lakers needed a second superstar, someone who could pair with Doncic to create a dynasty for the next decade. And according to team sources, they believe they've found that player. The Lakers brass believes they'll be on a very short list of teams in the running to acquire the two-time NBA MVP. A Western Conference executive told ESPN that this player is the big prize the Lakers hope to land. The fit alongside Dončić is obvious to everyone, except maybe Danny Green. This fit with Giannis and Luka, I don't know if it works, Danny Green recently said on ESPN's NBA Today. I was kind of skeptical of even Bron and Luka, but Bron's a high IQ guy, more of a passer. Giannis needs the ball. He's more of a transition guy. Luka is more of a half-court, slow it down, but he also needs the ball. Green continued, when I first heard it, I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, you should do it. Put everything all in to get Giannis. But I'm like, will it actually work? I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if it makes a ton of sense. But like I said, if any team can get Giannis, you might as well put your name in the hat and try to get him. The Lakers, however, are undeterred. They see the pairing of Dončić and Antetokounmpo as a potential dynasty, two international superstars in their primes, dominating the league for years to come.
With the Lakers aren't off the table at this point, but if he was to go somewhere else, that opens up the full mid-level exception for the Lakers. They would either have the taxpayer mid-level exception if Dorian stayed, which is around $7 million, or the full mid-level of $14 million.
Dialed in with your own medical history and what you're doing. Where are you in your comeback? Where do you think you're going to be back? And
I feel good. I feel 100%, to be honest with you. I just gotta, like, when you come back.
The speculation ends now. The new star is Giannis Antetokounmpo. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, the Lakers see the appeal in Antetokounmpo and believe they would be one of the teams on a very short list if the Bucks star asks for a trade out of Milwaukee. The Bucks decided not to move Antetokounmpo before the NBA trade deadline in February 2026, but teams will be lining up with trade offers during the summer. The Lakers are positioning themselves to be at the front of that line. Giannis would bring stability on defense while giving Dončić and Austin Reeves another star to rely on in the paint in the post-LeBron era. It's a no-brainer in terms of whether to make the trade, a pairing of two top 5 players in the NBA, both under 30, both with championship pedigrees. The fit concerns raised by Danny Green are valid, but the Lakers front office believes an elite talent finds a way. Dončić and Antetokounmpo are both basketball geniuses. They'll figure it out. Antetokounmpo would bring some stability on defense while giving Dončić and Austin Reeves another star to rely on in the paint in the post-LeBron era. It's a no-brainer in terms of whether to make the trade, but there's no guarantee for success, which can be said about any deal made in the NBA. The Lakers are willing to take that risk.
I don't know, but I am a Laker, and I am happy and been very happy being a Laker the last 6 years, and hopefully it stays that way. But I don't have the answer to how long it is or which uniform I'll be in. Hopefully it is with the Lakers. It's a great organization and so many greats. But we'll see. I don't know how it's going to end, but it's coming. It's coming for sure. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, LeBron. What are the Lakers doing? If they don't make a move, the Lakers are cooked and will have the same result as last year. LeBron James just said that he'd be willing to take a pay cut so we can go and we can bring in guys the likes of James.
The Lakers aren't stopping with Dončić and Antetokounmpo. Mark Walter has a vision, and it extends beyond just two superstars. According to multiple reports, the Lakers have internally discussed a group of 6 players as possible targets in free agency. These are wing players who can shoot from deep and defend multiple positions, the perfect complements to Dončić and Antetokounmpo. The list includes Andrew Wiggins, Tari Eason, Tobias Harris, Quentin Grimes, Dean Wade, and Peyton Watson. An Eastern Conference executive told ESPN the franchise needs to prioritize 3-and-D players after a quiet trade deadline left defensive questions unanswered. They need to get as many defenders with length that can knock down a shot as possible, said one Eastern Conference exec. The Lakers are projected to have roughly $50 million in cap space this summer, depending on what happens with LeBron's contract and Austin Reeves' expected new deal. That cap space, combined with 3 draft picks, gives them the flexibility to build a legitimate contender around their new superstar duo. So where does this leave LeBron James? The reality is that the end is near for LeBron's relationship with the Lakers. Multiple reports have confirmed that this will be LeBron's final season with the franchise. Either the legend will retire, or he will have a farewell tour with another team, possibly the Cleveland Cavaliers, where his career began. Whether that comes at the end of this season, if LeBron James decides as a free agent to sign somewhere else, or if he decides to retire, or he decides to come back for one more year and decide he wants to retire as a Laker, the end is near with this relationship, however you want to slice it. LeBron has been linked to a possible move back home to Cleveland or a move to the Golden State Warriors in an Avengers-like team-up with decade-long rival Steph Curry. Both options would give him one last chance at a championship while ending his career on his own terms. But the Lakers aren't waiting. They've made their decision. They've chosen the future over the past. The Los Angeles Lakers have officially entered a new era. Luka Doncic is the present. GIANNIS ANTETOKOUNMPO is the future. And LeBron James, the man who brought a championship back to Los Angeles in 2020, is now a footnote in the franchise's evolution. Mark Walter made a decision that will be debated for years. Some will call it cold, others will call it smart. But no one can deny that the Lakers are now positioned to dominate the NBA for the next decade. With approximately $50 million in cap space, 3 draft picks, and the ability to acquire 3-and-D wings to surround their superstar duo, the Lakers have the assets to build something special. They've learned from their mistakes of the past, the Russell Westbrook debacle, the constant drama, the year-to-year uncertainty. They're building a sustainable contender. The question that remains is simple. Will it work? Danny Green isn't sure, but he admits the risk is worth taking. If any team can get Giannis, you might as well put your name in the hat and try to get him. The Lakers have put their name in the hat, and they're willing to sacrifice a legend to make it happen. Was Mark Walter right to cut LeBron for Giannis? Would you have made the same call? Let us know in the comments. For more inside stories on the biggest moves in NBA history, hit subscribe.